Welcome back to the Possibility Storm. I'm your host Izlain, and this time we sat down with some of our older decks, things that have been updated since the bans but not played since before then, although Rev did play something brand new. What we found was a solid set of lists that fared well against each other and gave us our first ever stream where we played enough games for each of us to get a win. As such, this 4-peat of a video features 4 games, but each were short enough that the overall watch time should still be manageable. Stay tuned. Did you know that 70% of the views on this channel come from those of you who aren't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button. It's the best way to help us grow, and the best of all, it's free. If you're feeling extra generous, you can head over to patreon.com/possibilitystorm to pledge. For as little as $1, you can help me crank out even more content for you, while higher tiers come with added benefits. Enjoy the show. In Game 1, we have Joey going first, piloting his Timid Jessica ad nos list. This is still on the turbo plan, but it is hindered a bit by the bans. Nonetheless, it is looking to fire off an early ad nauseum, draw a large portion of the deck in order to put together a number of combos, most ending in infinite mana and casting Jessica over and over to burn off the table. Dual caster and breach loops can also help with this. I'm next playing my recently updated Prosper list, which has had a number of updates pre and post ban, but then obviously cut the banned cards and added a few more from recent sets. This is a Doomsday list at its core, but can also lean on other 2-card combos, and additionally packs in the Hoarding Broodlord combo, which typically wins on the spot, pulling out and casting Peer into the Abyss, which almost always nets the victory. Coming in third is Kirk, playing his most recent version of Rona, this one winning with Banishing Knack or Isochron Scepter loops, or of course the ever-present Thoracle combo. Otherwise, this is a deck packed with Dimir good stuff, which means plenty of interaction, card draw, and tutors. We can never count out these sorts of lists. Last but not least is Rev piloting his namesake, Rev. As soon as I learned of this card's existence, I immediately told Rev that he had to build it, and he readily agreed. This list is interesting as it is essentially another version of Ragavan, providing card advantage in a separate exile zone like many other commanders do, but also providing mana each time this effect triggers in the form of treasures. This deck won't be hurting for mana or cards to play, that's for sure. In Game 2, we all stay on the same decks except Joey switches over to his Vohar list. This is essentially another good stuff Dimir deck. The list benefits from Vohar being an Isochron Scepter dramatic reversal outlet, being able to loop through the list, but you can also be playing the Thoracle combo, and Joey's also packing in Doomsday line, making this deck quite explosive. In Game 3, everyone remains on the same list, but I do swap over to Zur. This deck is Prime Esper, packing in Necropotence as the go-to line for early Zur plays, but also having the utility to tutor up removal and other advantages via our commander. Other combos include Thoracle with Labman backup, and even Haliod Ballista as an easily turnerable line. In Game 4, we all swap up again. Joey is playing his mono green Sylvala list, and this is similar enough to Brostorm that you probably don't care. It makes big mana quick and uses that to draw a ton of cards and then tutor out game-winning creature combos. Enough said. Kirk pulled out Slicer, and this is honestly the first time I've played against the deck. The main strategy is to pass Slicer around so that it does a ton of damage to everyone but Kirk, but then try to protect it and defend against other people's wins. It's still vulnerable to losing too fast combos, but can get table collaboration to knock out problematic players. Rev jumped on his Shorikai list, which is a polymorph deck utilizing the pilots that Shorikai produces in order to polymorph them into Hullbreaker Horrors or Tidespout Tyrants. From there, a win is inevitable, and we've all seen this one play out before. I'm in the rear in Game 4, and I pulled out an absolute classic, Brawlin' and Shabraz. This was around the time that problematic cards like Dockside and Fierce Guardianship were printed, but we were loving life. This thing does breach combo and otherwise curiosity and pinger things. It wins games, but it's a bit dated. So there you have it. We already know each of us wins a game, but let's see how it happens.
Good luck, have fun. I'll draw.
You too.
Play this Badlands, and I'll tap it for DRC, and then I'll pass.
I will draw turn. Play a swamp and pass. Yield swamp pass.
Step up, keep, and draw. Flooded Strain, lose a life, and crack it now. Am I good to search?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting under city sewers, and I'm going to surveil one. Leave that on top. Pass it up.
Draw for turn. I'm playing Urborg. Cast a Chrome Mox. I'm getting rid of an Animate Dead. And then I'll tap 2 for a Gourmag Swiftwing. I'm going to swing this over at you, Joey.
Taking 1.
Alright, I'm passing.
Okay, I'll untap. Draw. Play Polluti Dudes. I'm going to crack that.
I'll respond. I'm going to pay 4 life to snuff out your Darcy.
Okay. I'm going to get a swamp, and I'm just going to tap it for this Imperial Seal. So I'll go down to 36.
To shortcut a bit to on your end step, I'm gonna entomb just to get it out of the way.
Yeah, you can just do it. Yeah, you can just do it in response to my Imp Seal, I guess.
Put a Broodlord in the grave.
There's a Brood Lord immediately.
Look at that guy. I'm gonna play this Hope of Gearper, and I'm gonna pass.
Verdant. Crack Verdant. Grab the worst land. We're gonna play this Ragavan. I'll pass.
Untap, upkeep, draw this mystery card. I have no idea what it was. Play a Seat of the Synod. Gonna cast Rona, Herald of Invasion. Then I will cast a Mox Amber. Nothing else. Move, end step, and pass.
Untap, draw. I'm going to play a Cavernous Souls as my turn, naming Rogue, and I will pass.
Sorry, Shocking and a Blood Crypt, going to 34. I'll tap 1 for a Dark Ritual. I'll use 1 of it for a Culling the Weak, sacking the Hope. 6. Put a Peer into the Abyss on the stack.
Ooh, shit.
I got nothing for that.
Damn, turn 3? Hard cast?
Song.
Oh.
I'm gonna Red Blast.
Oh!
Swamp Song.
What is happening, ladies and gentlemen?
Force of Negation, pitching Valley Flood Caller.
Oh.
Targeting Peer into the Abyss.
I'm hellbent now, so I got nothing for that. I got nothing else. Pass the turn.
Alright, untap and
Now we're
draw.
screwed for whatever Izlain's going to do, unfortunately.
I'm gonna play a Mountain. And then I'm gonna play this Animate Dead.
I got nothing. I blew my load stopping Joey.
Would like to grab a Hoarding Brood Lord. So we'll grab Sonhalf, but then we'll make the 2 copies.
Convoke. Well, no, you gotta Convoke, right?
Yeah.
Tap the 2.
Go get Burnt and Peer.
Here. You can Convoke Burn Offering, sacrifice the 1 you tap,
That
and
makes
you get 8 black mana.
Black or red.
Black or red. So I think the 5 and 3 idea is fine. So we'll do that.
And then you can use the Convoke on the Abyss as well.
1
Reduce it by 1. So
and then 3 black.
2 floating out. You could just leave 1 and 1. Yeah.
Then we'll cast her. All right. So I have 84 in library and 4 in hand. So that's 88. So I would draw 44.
No, just draw 42 cards. You'd have 46 in
42.
hand. And losing 20 life.
I'll Chrome Mox, and I'll get rid of this Wild Wasteland because that seems pointless. The Mox will play here. We can tap this for Soul Ring, so it is online. I'm going to use a Floating Black to cast a Sacrifice, sacrificing Brood Lord. So I'll have 8 black, 2 of it to cast Demonic Tutor. Then I'll red and 2 Jessica's Will, targeting whoever has the highest, so I can
I only
get
have 2.
Mm.
mana.
Hellbent.
3.
3 is fine. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I have Molten Duplication and Dualcaster Mage, and I have 4 and 6, so I can.
GG. Nothing
GG,
to
buddy.
man.
Tap up, keep draw. Takanuma, Romox, pitching. Offer you can't refuse, assuming that resolve. Aston Rona. And pass.
Snow-covered swamp, Dark Ritual, Grim Tutor, cast Chromox. I'm going to put an Imp's Mischief underneath it. Tap 1 for a Tiny Bones, the Pickpocket.
That's
And, I'm done.
Draw a card. I'm gonna play a Morphic Pool. Does anybody want to concede?
No.
I'm also gonna play a Chrome Mox. Look at all of us. We're all good friends. Print this Chain of Vapor. Counterbalance.
Hell yeah.
I'll pass the turn.
I will draw for turn. I'm gonna play a Prismatic Vista. I'd like to crack that. Go grab a Swamp, and I'll lose life. And I'll pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep, and draw. Hot Sizzle, Swamp right off the top. Cast Heuristic Study.
Counterbalance. Spellseeker.
Son of a bitch.
Oh.
That hurts. End step, and pass.
Let's play a Snow-covered swamp. Tap 1 for a Sensei's Top. Let's tap 2 for a Bitter Blossom.
Berries.
I'm passing.
Untap and draw this thing that we didn't know about.
It's probably one of like 5 3-drops in your entire deck.
Roll out this Grim Monolith. And
Sure.
ship the turn.
Turn draw.
Excellent
I'll play
commercial.
him. Play him out. I'll attempt to cast this talisman.
Counterbalance trigger. It's a Mox Diamond.
Then I would like to tap this for Mana Vault, and then I'll pass.
End step, I'm gonna loot. Draw a card and discard a card. Any response?
Nope.
Discard Merchant Scroll. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Misty Rainforest. Crack Misty Rainforest. Am I good to search? All right. Well, let's cast Urza, Lord High Artificer. He's going to make his little construct. Go to combat, I guess. Joey, you're miles ahead, going your way for 1. Instead, pass.
Untap. Upkeep. Yep.
Yeah.
Lose a life. Make a fairy. Play swamp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast my namesake. Rev. Tithe Extractor. Move to combat. Yeah, swing Tiny Bones over at you, Izlain.
So take 1 and then
Exile the top card. It's supposed to be face down, but that's kind of hard to do on here.
it's deflecting swap.
Yeah, I'm passing.
Alright, I'll untap.
Don't lose life.
Pay 2 for this copy artifact. I'm gonna pick the talisman on Izlain's board, cast Vohar with that talisman.
Yep.
And then I'm shipping it.
Draw. I'll play a Blight Step Pathway. So, yeah, I'm just going to cast Prosper.
Counterbalance trigger.
Sure.
Soul Ring.
I will move to end step and exile Slaughter Pact.
Untap. Draw on a card. Activate Rona. Draw on a card. I'll discard March of Swirling Mist. And pass.
Untap. Upkeep. I'll make another fairy and lose a life. And then I'll draw. Combat. I'm going to swing Rev over at you, Joey. I'm going to swing Tiny Bones over at you, Izlain. And I'll swing a fairy over at you, Kirk.
And what would you like to give Death Touch when you attack?
I will give Rev Death Touch.
Taking 3.
I got no blocks. Taking
Rev
1.
damage.
Taking 1.
I would like to make,
And then
if I'm reading this right, 3 treasures. And then exile the top card of everybody's library.
Soul Ring.
Swan Song here.
Luxury Suite.
Yeah, I will tap 1 and cast a Soul Ring.
Counterbalance.
Soul Ring.
Mnemonic Patrol.
Oh, you.
That's
got
what I
rid of
wanted to
that.
see. I'll crack 4 treasures. 5, 6. I'm going to cast a Bolus to Citadel.
It resolves.
I'm going to look at the top card of my library. I'm going to pay 4 life. I'm going to Deadly Rollick Prosper.
Okay, so in response to that, I'm going to Slaughter Pact Urza. That will create me a treasure token because I cast it with Prosper. Pay 3. Crack treasure for red. Use red and 1 colorless to cast Untimely Malfunction to destroy target artifact, targeting Bolas' Citadel.
Pay 4 life in response. And I am going to snuff out Rona. I
What was
will
on top, Joey?
pay 1 mana and use Kirk's Swan Song to counter it. That's countered. You make a bird and then Prosper is exiled.
Command zone.
I'm going to play Mox Phyrexian or Arena.
That costs 3.
I'll counter that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Culling the Weak, sacrificing one of the fairies for 4 black. I'll cast a Lotus Petal to cast an Aether Flux. We good?
Oh, yeah. GG.
Sorry, I got a gemstones. Here you go. Kiskar Slaughter Pact.
Untap, upkeep, and draw Reno. Scalding Tarn, crack it, losing a life. Underground Sea, I'll run out of Soul Ring. Cool, I'll run out Grim Monolith. And that's it for me. Move in, step, and pass with 3 in hand.
Draw for turn. Play a command tower. I will then play a Chrome Box, pitching a Grand Abolisher. That's what I got. Pass.
I'm gonna play
No one caught
Misty
that, I'm glad.
Rainforest. I'll get an Underground Sea and I'll just play this Mana Vault. And
Cool.
I'll pass.
Draw. Swamp. Tap 1. Dark Ritual. Use Intuit, cast a Fellwar Stone. That and the additional black I have, Dothy Voidwalker.
Good
I'll
with me.
pass.
Untap a Ruski, draw a card. Hey, cast my commander. 1 colorless floating. With my remaining colorless, attempt to run out of the 1 ring. I will go ahead and activate it now. Draw a card. Instead,
I
pass.
should. Vault of Champions. I'll pass.
I'll draw. The Polluti dudes, yeah, I'm gonna crack it.
Sounds good. Under Dothy, please.
Goes under Dothy, yep. I'll just get an island, and then I'll tap 2 for a Ledger Shredder. Pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Swamp. Tap 4 for a rev. Swing 2 over or 3 over Izlain, Dothy.
I'll take 3.
Get treasure. What's the top card of your library, please?
Microphone. Wow. Like, okay.
I'm gonna keep that in exile, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
You can play it, I think, forever, can't you?
Yep, I can play it forever. I'm passing turn.
Lose 1 on the upkeep to the One Ring. Burden. Draw a card. Activate the One Ring, I think. Yeah,
dude,
activate
it's
the One
only
Ring.
been like
I'll activate Rona to draw a card and discard a card. Draw a card. What am I giving to the Abyss?
You want to give me?
March of Swirling Mist. It's going to be exiled.
Love it.
Drew a Ristic Study. End step pass. But I haven't drawn a second.
I'll pass.
Alright, I'll untap.
Windfall would
Why
be
not?
cool.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I'm just gonna do that. I think I'm gonna float a colorless and
Free
knock a
didn't.
windfall on the stack. I guess this goes in Dothy, but
Ugh.
I have no say in this. I prefer you wouldn't.
I mean, it's been a lot of shit in Dothy.
That I think, and I don't love it, but that's where I'm at.
I'm gonna
Thank you so
pay
much, Kirk.
2 to play Vohar.
Doesn't that
That's
trigger?
your Ledger Shredder trigger,
Yeah.
right, Joey?
Yeah.
It is. It sure is. So I'll draw and discard. Pitching this City of Ass into the Dothy zone. 2, yeah, you can get a third draw. Here's a little spell. Then I'm passing.
Tap. Upkeep. Draw. Combat. Rev is coming over at you, Kirk. And Dothy is coming over at Joey.
I will not block and take 3 from Rev.
Taking 3.
Top card is Othawara.
Hey, I got your land.
Card. That's a Force of Will, it looks like. Yeah, Force of Will.
Well, I mean, we just go for it, right? 3,
What do you got? Force
4, 5, 6, 7. Peer into the abyss.
Force of Will. Pitching. Chain of Vapor. Losing a life.
Okay, pass turn.
Untap. Lose 2. Draw a card. Cast a Vampire Tutor.
Windfall.
That card on top, and I'll lose 2 life.
Not Dothy.
Activate Rona to draw a card. Discarding. This will be funny. I'll discard Dothy Voidwalker into the Dothy zone. Feels appropriate. Cast Mox Opal. That's my second spell, Joey.
Oh, there it is. So I'll draw and discard. Discard this. Yeah, I guess I'm pitching this Chain of Vapor. So I'll put a 1/1 counter on the Ledger Shredder.
Untap Rona. Play a tapped Undercity Sewers. Second land, finally. Surveil. Guess I leave it on top. Activate the One Ring. Attempt to draw 3 cards. Cast Mox Diamond. Pitching Morphic Pool to the Dothy zone. Cast Retraction Helix targeting Rona. So I would activate Rona using Retraction Helix ability, which is also in the Dothy zone, to bounce the Mox Opal to my hand. I would recast Mox Opal, which will untap Rona. Tap it, float a blue. Repeat infinitely till I have infinite blue mana.
And then you just do the same thing with the One Ring and draw your deck.
Yep, and then I start using the One Ring. Bounce it to my hand. Cast the One Ring. When it untaps Rona, draw a card. Bounce the One Ring, wash, rinse, repeat. Draw down until I have 2 cards left in my library just in case. And the One Ring untapped. And I would cast the old Thassa's Oracle.
Nothing for me.
Yeah.
Good here. Gemstone.
These guys.
Pitching a plains.
I have a gemstone. Pitching a.
Good luck, everybody. Have fun. Snow-covered forest, and tap that forest for an Arbor Elf. That's it. Go ahead.
So you draw. Play a Mox Diamond.
Yep.
Discarding Urza's Saga. Play a Rite of Flame. 2 red. Cast a Soul Ring. Cast Slicer High Speed Antagonist. Play a Snow Covered Mountain. Go to combat. Rev coming at you for 3.
Now I'll take 3.
And then I will also cast Pip Boy 3000. And this guy converts, right? Convert at the end of combat. Yep. I'll move to end step.
And
Pass
step,
it up.
I'm going to Enlighten Tutor. I'm going to put a Soul Ring on top. I'm drawing something. Wonder what that was.
Oh, in your upkeep, you get an untapped Slicer. Hired Muscle.
God.
Tap 1. Cast a Soul Ring. Cast a Talisman of Progress. Guess I go to combat and I swing at Joey.
Taking 6.
I will move to my end step. This goes back to you, Kirk. And pass.
Yay. Izlain, in your upkeep, you get a Slicer.
Got a slicer. I will play this Sea of Clouds. Play this LED. Swing this slicer at Rev. Pass
Okay.
turn.
Okay, I'll untap and yoink a card.
Upkeep, you get a slicer, Joey.
Oh yeah. I erased my last slicer. Here, this is my slicer for right now. Pay 1 for a Utopia Sprawl, naming green. Play an Ancient Tomb as my land for turn. Tap the Ancient Tomb, lose 2 life, go to 32. I'll play these Lightning Greaves. Attach the Spooky Boots to the Arbor Elf. I'll use the Arbor Elf to untap this guy and tap it for 2 more. And play this Lupine prototype. I'm gonna go to combat with the Slicer, and Izlain, I'm coming at you. And then I'm shipping it off.
Untap, upkeep, and draw. Play an Ancient Tomb as land for turn. Equip Pip Boy 3000 to Slicer. Play a Beamtown Beatstick. Equip Beamtown Beatstick to Slicer. I guess go to combat. When he attacks, I choose 1 to put a 1/1 counter on him, draw a card, then discard a card, or untap up to 2 target lands. Okay, Rev, I guess it's coming your way. I'll put a +1/+1 counter on Slicer from the Pip Boy 3000.
And I'll
Now we'll have 2 treasures.
19.
That's it from me. I will move to end step.
Cast a mystical tutor in your end step. Swords, untap, upkeep, draw that swords.
In your upkeep, you get a Slicer.
Cast Shorikai. Activate Shorikai first. Draw 2, discard a Savines. Play a Tundra.
I'll probably be a 6/6 double striker when you attack with him.
Over at you, Izlain.
Put a 1/1 counter on him when he attacks. I do get 2 treasures.
We
Am I
should be giving this guy
controlling him
treasures.
right now?
You are. You would gain the life.
Yeah, I will tap on his swords after.
You gain 6 life, Rev. I'll put him in the command zone. There you go.
I pass. Go ahead, Izlain.
Don't even
Command
get your
tower.
Slicer now.
I'll pass.
Untap. Draw a card. And cast Savala. Okay, I'll try to move the Greaves over. Tap the Arbor Elf to untap this. Float a green. And tap into Savala for 5. So I have 6 green. Use 1 here and 2 here. And I'll cast an Eldritch Evolution, sacking Arbor Elf. Alright, I'll get him.
Love Marvin. He's badass.
This is a good usage of him. Once he's on the field, I'll slide the boots over to him. And then I'll use a mana to tap into him for 5 more. Go up to 8. And I'll use that 8 on Last March of the Ents.
Rose.
Which one's
The
that?
first time I've cast the spell. So draw 5 cards. Wirewood Symbiote, Pugnacious Hammerskull, and Ashaya. So I think I would get a Savala trigger here. I know Pugnacious is a 6/6, so that's biggest, but I think Ashaya is even bigger. So yeah, Ashaya is an 8/8, so I'll draw off of Savala. I'll play Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. I'll slide the Greaves to each of these and tap them all for mana. So I'll get 4 floating green. I'll leave them on Savala. I'll use 1 of the floating green on a Soul Ring. Activate the Wirewood Symbiote. Pop the Savala back to my hand to untap Marvin from this and recast Savala. And I'll slide the Greaves over to Marvin. And I'll tap Marvin for another 8. 5 mana, so this and 4 of this. And I'll use a green Sun's X is 4. Okay, so I get Teamer, and then that's just like with Teamer from here, that is infinite mana. Draw my deck with Savala by popping Shia back and forth.
I was gonna say, how are you popping them back? Oh, with
Teamer,
yep.
yeah, that's what I'm getting off of Green Suns. So yeah, I would pop Marvin back and forth. That's probably the easiest way to generate infinite mana with the Lightning Greaves out. And then you just pop Ashaya back and forth to draw my deck. And then I have infinite mana for Finale of Devastation. I'll have all these will be untapped because I can just pop them back with Teamer.
Or so you can cast every creature you draw. I got nothing.
Cast every creature,
Yeah,
and then
nothing.
just Finale of Devastation you guys to death.
So
and not
Izlain, you got
attacked yet.
Nope.